Welcome Dwight Sistrunk Jr. into our halftime here, the HyVee Halftime Report, brought to you by HyVee and Liberty. Welcome, and it's been a lot of fun watching you play this year. You think you're a better player this year than you were last year?
Personally, I think I am. I worked a lot over the summer, really hard over the summer, so I hope to say that I am this year.
What kind of things did you work on last summer?
A lot of like mid-range, in between, floaters with the left hand, offhand, and just a lot of stuff like that. You know, a lot of quick shots that I can get off in the lane and try to get my shot off. So
I'm going to give you a huge compliment. I can't tell if you're right-handed or left-handed because around the rim you use either pretty well. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Well, you use that left hand so well.
Thank
and
you.
that's what you're talking about
Yes,
a little
sir.
bit?
Yes, sir.
How about just going down the lane? You are rarely the biggest guy in the lane. When you go down there, what's that like to fly through the air?
You know, I'm pretty used to it. You know, I've never really been the biggest guy ever.
Yeah.
You know, so I just, as soon as I get the basketball, my one goal is to try to get to the basket. So I'm just real focused on that.
Well, you've done a great job, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. What are you more excited about, an assist that's kind of neat or scoring the bucket? What do you like better?
I think it just depends on the play.
Yeah.
I'm really a pass first point guard, but there's sometimes where, you got to go score. So, I love getting assists, just as much as I would love to score. So as long as we get points, that's anything I'm happy with.
Yes, he is a player. Look at that. Look at that quick crossover. Hello. Goodbye. 2 points. That's how that works.
This is a new style. We're pushing the ball more this year. I got to imagine you enjoy that.
Oh, definitely. I love it.
Look at the smile on your face.
Yeah, I love to push the ball, and I feel like it's a lot more exciting for the fans too.
Yeah.
Keeps them in the game. So I'm excited about it.
At times, and again, you can tell me if I'm off base here or not, but at times it looks like you get a little frustrated sometimes because you make a pass and we don't get a layup, or maybe we turn it over. And how do you handle that?
We got a lot of young guys, so a lot of times understanding, just we got a lot of young guys and a lot of new guys who aren't, still trying to get chemistry with me. We have only been playing, not that long, a couple months. So I just think, during the heat of the competition, of course I'm a competitor, so that's a lot of the emotion may show. But at the end of the day, I'll go pat them, on the behind and just tell them that it's okay. I know, they're trying their hardest. They're not trying to pass. So I'm understanding that.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because as the point guard, you've got to be kind of a coach on the floor.
Yes,
is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. It's really a balance. You want to kind of be a coach, but you still have to be a peer and a player and a good teammate. So, you just kind of try to find a balance. And each player is different. Each player can handle certain stuff, that others can't. So you just kind of have to find that medium.
Coach Holly and I were talking about the fact that you have, now in your sophomore year, you haven't played all that many games, and I think people look at you as being a little bit more, certainly the leader on the floor, but a little bit more experienced, but you're still a very young player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, not that many games played, didn't play the full season last year, so, I'm still learning as well, but I'm, trying to get the hang of it, and even though I didn't play, try to take what I did see and, learn from the players, continue with that.
Right. Last year, you missed a number of games in the second semester, and we won't get into that, but what was that like to have to sit there and watch?
Oh, it was tough, especially a player like me, even in practice, I like every rep, and I like, I like to get, be with the team, every step I could be with them, So it was tough, and it really made me value my time on the court and my time playing this game, and value how much that I actually love the game, and sitting away from the game actually really hurts, So, I learned a lot, going through that, it made me a really better person.
What did you do with your time when you weren't on the court? Were you able to practice?
Yeah, I could practice, but it was a thing where I would be at the practice, but the reps had to go to the people who were playing.
Sure.
So I was there, but it's like I wasn't doing nowhere near as much as I was. But I really would just be, in the gym. Even though I couldn't do everything with the team, I was trying to make sure I stayed in shape and stayed, somewhat on the same page as the team. So a lot of just gym workouts.
Did you pick that time to use to improve maybe your classroom studies or work on a facet of your game or something like that? Or did you just, like you said, you just kind of generally try to stay with the team a little bit?
Yes, sir. Just try to stay up with the team. And having extra time, when the team traveled, helped me, with my studies. But, it helped me get a lot of my field work hours in too. So.
Last time you were here, we talked a little bit about your folks in Des Moines, growing up in Des Moines.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Des Moines first of all. What
Yes,
was
sir.
it like growing up there?
I loved it. It's Des Moines is not the biggest of cities, and I live kind of on every side of town, so I know a lot of people back home,
Right.
and I'm glad I was raised there because there's a lot of good ball players there too. I think that's what formed my game a lot. Is just playing back home a lot.
And your folks, tell me a little bit about them, if you would.
Yes, sir. My dad is a taxi driver in Des Moines, and my mom is a police sergeant. And they're both hardworking folks. Get up every morning, go work hard. So there's a lot of my motivation too to work hard because I see them do it.
Right.
They pass those traits down to me. So,
They're here for a lot of games, if I
yes,
heard
sir.
correctly.
yes, sir. They don't miss a game. I'm the only child, and a lot of their time in the past, before I got to college, had been consumed by going to my games, traveling to AAU events, things of that nature. So a lot of the times, throughout the year before basketball season, that's really all that they wait for is, for my game. So I'm really appreciative to have them to come, support and make that 2.5-hour trip, every game.
We've got a little piece of video when you hit the shot
Yes, sir.
against Rockhurst of your dad standing
Yes,
up in the
sir.
crowd,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And we should probably talk about that a little bit. Rockhurst, the game came down to 2+ seconds. You get the ball in your hands and you hit the long shot to tie it up. Can you kind of take us through that sequence, what you're thinking and what the emotions were like when you hit that?
Yes, sir. Well, when I seen before they hit the three, I saw McCann had the ball, and of course he was. We were trying to get out of his
He was
hands.
great
Yes,
that
sir,
night.
he was. So, I saw the other guy shoot, and he was actually a pretty good shooter too. So when I seen the ball leave his hands, I was hoping it didn't go in, but it did. So when the shot went in, I was automatically thinking overtime, and I just knew I had to get a quick shot up. I wanted to get it off at least before the buzzer, went off. So, and when I got it off, when it left my hands, it actually felt really well. I thought it was going to end up short. I was expecting the worst, but it went in. So, it was crazy.
Ties it up with 2.1 left.
Wow. Third for him, and Sistrunk.
Oh! How about that, baby? Two-handed mama jump shot. How about that? Nothing but net.
What was that like when you saw it go through?
I couldn't believe it at first. Then I seen it. Then everybody's reaction. You kind of feed off everybody else. So everybody kind of looks, and then you see it go in, and you're like, wow, like it's crazy. So, and I realized we won, and I realized I got it off in time. So, it was really good to get that win, especially it being the first conference game.
Have you ever hit a last-second shot like that, and have you ever hit one from that distance?
I've hit some buzzer beaters, a lot of buzzer beaters in my career. I think.
Because that's like fantasy stuff.
Yes, sir.
When you were a kid, right?
Yes,
When you were
sir.
playing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've hit a lot of buzzer beaters in my career. I don't think I've shot and hit one from that far though ever. I think that's the farthest I've ever shot one from half court, a little behind half court. So.
We could kind of see your reaction in the gym and
Yes,
all that
sir.
kind of stuff. What was the next day like for you? Did you get a lot of attention for that?
Oh yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of video sharing on like Twitter and like YouTube. It was like really, really big. A lot of people who weren't there had ended up seeing it on the video, and so it was a buzz. But I mean, me personally, I was happy for the win that night. But as a basketball player, I had to, we had to look forward to the next game. So we came back to practice. We had to get back focused.
Well, that amazes me because if it's me and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
your age, that goes to my head pretty quickly. I mean, I have to admit, I would
sir.
have to take some time to enjoy that a little bit.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you want to do when you get out of college, when you're done playing basketball, wherever it leads you? Where
Yes, sir.
do you want to end up?
I'm not quite sure. Sometimes I think the Des Moines area. Sometimes I think I want to, go somewhere else. But I know I'm gonna go to graduate school, and then I'm gonna have to teach for a little while, and then I want to become an athletic director. I still want to be a part of sports. Sports have always, once, they say once an athlete, always an athlete. So you always want to be at least within an arm's length of,
bet.
sport. So.
Where do you think this team can go this year and in the next couple of years?
Yes, sir. I feel like this team has like some of the highest potential. We have a group of great freshmen, but I mean, of course, we see Devontae Mosby, how he's just an animal, and even Austin Regier, how he's an animal. They both have a high motor, and we still have a lot of. The only player we lose is Devontae, So I feel like and especially now, the thing that I think that we're improving on is we'll lose a game, but even if we lose, we'll do something in that game that we didn't do in the previous game. So we'll take steps going forward, and I feel like by time, you know, we go on our break, we got a game tomorrow. We go on our break, and then when we come back and we just can have a little time to just focus in and practice, and then we got a lot of good teams coming up. I feel like after we go through that conference stretch, and once we get into like the most heart of the conference stretch, we'll be playing our best basketball because our freshmen will be a little more seasoned, and everybody will be, you know, just ready to play and excited to keep it going.